The final award, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very special one. It is the award for Outstanding Contribution to Comedy. To present that and to explain why it should be awarded this year of all years, could you please welcome on stage Jeremy Harmon.
Thank you very much. Very few of you will know who I am, and those who have heard of me will think I'm merely a legend. But let's just say that I have material that's older than any of you. The winner of this award is unable to be here, and she's got a better excuse than anybody else, I have to say. And to those who have won awards tonight, I've won 3 comedy awards, and my advice to you is that no good will come of it. The winner of the award doesn't need the award, partly because her comedy genius is unparalleled, and partly for the same reason that she can't be here, which is that she died on February the 27th last year. You might have already guessed it's Linda Smith, who was not only one of the funniest people, and certainly, you know, I mean, all of you look shit compared to her. I guess so am I, compared to her. Less so, but still. She was utterly marvellous, and Dara will vouchsafe from having worked on panel games that on panel games she was just unparalleled and unprepared and always brilliant and always funny and always utterly delightful, and nobody had a bad word to say about Linda. She was one of the nicest people, and adored by fans as well, because people always say, well, I didn't know Linda, but they did really, because once you saw Linda, that was it. There was no side, there was no front, there was no persona. What you got was Linda. And I'd love to be able to give the award to Linda in person, but obviously I can't, and it would be a bit of a shame to scatter it somewhere. So I'm going to give it to her beloved partner, who was by her side all those years, if not physically, then certainly spiritually, and who is going to take the award on her behalf. So to accept the award for Outstanding Achievement for Linda Smith, please welcome her partner, Warren Lakin.
Thank you everyone, I'm really touched and delighted to be here, and thank you very much Steve for honouring Linda in this way. It was a great joy when I switched on to the Chortle website late last year to discover that it carried a wonderful review of the book to celebrate Linda's comedy. Some of you may have seen it. It's called I Think the Nurses Are Stealing My Clothes, and it's very much still out there in hardback. And it's coverage of Linda's comedy from the year 1983 to her last gigs in the year 2006. So I commend that to you. It's strange coming to this venue. The last time I was here, this was the home of Eddie Izzard's club. I think it was called Raging Bull, that he ran on a Friday or a Saturday, beginning of the 90s. And of course, years before that, I believe this was the home of the wonderful comic strip. So I'm starting to date myself, because I was looking around the audience as people were coming in. I've got a funny feeling that only Don Ward is older than me in this room. Thank you, Don, for that. It's a pleasure to see you here, an old friend.
Been working on that one for years.
Thank you. I thought I'd take the liberty of just reading you something this evening from the book. Linda had a lot of great friends in comedy, and throughout this last 12 months we've had many tribute events, and lots of awards have been showered on Linda since she passed away. One of her greatest friends, other than Jeremy, was a true senior in British comedy, the magnificent Barry Cryer. Linda knew Barry from umpteen appearances with him on BBC Radio and so many other occasions. And what a gem that man is. I know some of you would know him. He was, in a way, a bit of a mentor to Linda and an inspiration. And so often he would ring and just leave a message on our answer machine after Linda had been on, say, a Radio 4 panel game, just to say what a cracking line that particular line was that Friday night on the news quiz. And I'll never forget what a great support he was to us through the very, very difficult years. And Barry, I invited Barry to write something for the book. Barry being Barry, he came up with something really quite extraordinary. And this is it. It's called Ode to Linda, A Lot of Laughs. I've only ever read this once in public, so forgive me, because this is quite difficult prose. And I hope most of you out there are familiar with the pantheon of Radio 4 comedy programmes that Linda appeared on. She was a regular for about 8 years on the news quiz. She was a semi-regular on Just a Minute and an occasional guest on Sorry I Haven't a Clue. And she also had her own radio sitcom called Linda Smith's A Brief History of Time Wasting. I need to tell you that in case you didn't know that, because you'd make no sense of this piece. Thank you. Just bear with me. I'll get a bit of light on it, that's right. Oh, what a happy day to think of Linda. I'm so old, I remember Tommy Trinder. You may say who, that will not hinder. My verse, because dear Linda was in the family line, kith and kinder. That she carried on, Linda Smith, no false memories, no transient myth. She was there, upon the news quiz, doing the business, doing the biz, full of fun and full of fizz. Then thoughts turned to Just a Minute. Who but our own Linda in it could fill the seconds with such thoughts, any context, any sorts. Of reactions were just hers, so many, now my memory blurs. But that's irrelevant, forget the blur, when we remember Linda, it's just her. Funny, natural, endlessly inventive, I don't need any further incentive. To say that you were one of a kind, I can never lose from my mind. Your wit spontaneous, seemingly unplanned, your album of Wales song that turned out to be a dolphin tribute band. Now you need to know the whole gag really. Just one and so were you. You always had a clue. And now, my friends, I end this rhyme hoping it wasn't a short history of wasting time. With all here, I'm one who has lovely memories. Love, Uncle Baz. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on another fantastic year in live comedy here. Well done, I'm Darwin. Thank you very much for seeing me.